Guys, one of the facts of media, especially when it comes to the super woke revolutionary mainstream media, is that they're just haters, right? They just haters. Okay? Soldier Boy used to have this song that kind of goes like this. I got me some haters. I got me some haters. Like, that's what I think about when I see guys like Don Lemon and Brian Stelter go off, right, on their counterparts, right, on the counterparts, right. You see, Joy Reid and Don Lemon, they want to go off on people like Tim Scott, black Republicans, black conservatives, right, because they get mad because Tim Scott represents a roadblock in their agenda, right. And Brian Stelter, as unoriginal as he is, tries to follow up on Don Lemon's silly little rant about Tim Scott. And he goes after Tucker Carlson. He goes after Tucker Carlson on Fox News because Tucker Carlson just criticized military, right? He criticized military policy, right? And it's funny to see kind of how the tables have turned here, right? Where we live in America where you can't say, hey, I'm not sure if it's a good idea to be sending pregnant women to the forefront of the battlefield, right? We might want to think twice about all these changes that we're making. Like, does these changes make us less safe, right? It's nothing wrong with asking those questions. And again, guys, my personal opinion on that is very simple. Very simple. I mean, if it doesn't impede performance, I personally don't care. But honestly, I do care about the unborn life, right? If you're sending women to the battlefield and they're pregnant, right? I probably don't want to see women on the front lines because that's an unborn life, right? But other than that, long as it doesn't impede performance, it's fine, right? There's plenty of positions in the military that don't involve fighting, right? And with, military combat becoming more digital, right? And there's more drones, there's more, information warfare, right? Computer warfare, cyber warfare. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But Tucker Carlson has the right to question it. Because, any reasonable person would. But apparently, Brian Stelter doesn't think so. And the military doesn't think so, apparently, right? We live in a time where the military is going after a Fox News host because a Fox News host questioned military policy. Sounds kind of like authoritarian country to me, right? Where the military is taking time to go after journalists. I don't know how far down this rabbit hole we want to go. And you have people like Brian Stelter who are following up on this type of stuff, and he's triggered, right? So Don Lemon was triggered. Now Brian Stelter is triggered today. But, I think Brian Stelter, the core of his rant is jealousy, right? Let's take a listen.
I have come to one inescapable conclusion about the GOP and the media. I want to see if you agree or disagree with me. Even though Republicans are out of power right now, the use of the media, their use of the media, has a major impact on the Democrats and on political dysfunction. So this, what I'm about to say, directly impacts President Biden and his administration. All right, are you ready for it? Here's my conclusion. Tucker Carlson is the new Donald Trump. Tucker has taken Trump's place as a right-wing leader, as an outrage generator, as a fire starter. And it's all happening on Fox, just like Trump's campaign did. Which means Rupert and Lachlan Murdoch are ultimately responsible. Think about all the ways these two men are similar. Every day, Carlson is throwing bombs, making online memes, offending millions of people, also delighting millions of others, tapping into white male rage and resentment, stoking distrust of big tech and the media.
Stoking white male rage, says a white male. Man, I really got to question a lot of these people, right? That they go up here and say stuff like this, right? Like, Brian, are you not a white male? Right? Are you angry? Right? Because you're perpetuating the stereotype that white males are always angry. Right? And you're angry right now. So I guess you're a part of the crowd of angry white males. So you're contributing to this problem that you are going after Tucker Carlson for. And, according to the woke revolutionaries, according to them, if, you start talking down on your race like that, then you must hate yourself, right? Because that's what I hear anytime a black conservative talks about black people or issues in the black community. They say we hate ourselves. So you talking down on white males, I don't know, man. You must hate yourself, according to the super woke revolutionary logic that you subscribe to. Or maybe Brian Stelter is triggered by Tucker Carlson's masculinity, or Tucker Carlson promoting masculinity in the military. Maybe he's triggered by that.
Generally coarsening the discourse, never apologizing for anything, and setting the GOP's agenda. Sounds like a recently retired president, right? Even before the 2020 election, there was informed speculation about Carlson as a 2024 candidate. Of course, some of Carlson's detractors say, he's just a troll, he's just really good at ticking people off. But isn't that what they said about Trump for years? Yes, Tucker is known to critique Trump and the Republican Party from time to time. This time last year, he was at Mar-a-Lago trying to convince Trump to take COVID more seriously. But Tucker tells the same conspiratorial us versus them story that Trump told. The same they're out to get you story that Trump told for years. It's the paranoid style in American politics all over again. And Tucker now soaks up some of the same social media fury that Trump did. He stokes the same debates that Trump did.
Is this man starting to sound jealous? Is this man starting to sound jealous that Tucker Carlson is getting attention and he's not? When Tucker Carlson says something, right? When Tucker Carlson gives a take, it gets national attention. Tucker Carlson can get the attention of the military. Brian Stelter can get the attention of nobody. Starting to sound like a little bit of jealousy to me.
And it raises the same predicament that Trump raised 5 or 6 years ago. Whether and how to cover his claims. I mean, here's just some of what Tucker did in a single week this past week. He said pregnant service members are a mockery to the U.S. military and claimed the U.S. has a national masculinity crisis. And when military officials rebuked his comments, he flipped out and doubled down. Tucker also spent an entire segment berating a New York Times reporter because she had the audacity to call out online harassment, and then he blasted the Times for defending her. He tried to rewrite history about George Floyd's death and said American leaders used Floyd to enshrine, quote, open racism in nearly all of our institutions. And he mocked Meghan Markle, and he defended Piers Morgan, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on. And it all is because of these individuals on screen. What Tucker wants is attention. What Rupert Murdoch and Lachlan Murdoch want for him is attention. As this headline put it, Tucker is the post-Trump MAGA champion, firmly supplanting Sean Hannity at this point as the #1 star on Fox News.
Here we go.
Far ahead of anyone else on Fox.
And CNN. Far ahead of you, bro. Far ahead of you. That's where the outrage comes from. That's where the outrage comes from. Is this. It's jealousy. Okay? It's jealousy. These people, like Brian Stelter, are jealous that somebody like Tucker Carlson can shake the world up when he comments on something. He's jealous that Tucker Carlson is a presidential candidate. He's jealous that Tucker Carlson has a larger voice and a larger audience and a larger reach. He's just more relevant. And this is what happens when you have success, guys. When you're successful, you get haters. People are going to hate you because they ain't you. And that whole segment from Brian Stelter, ain't no need to finish the whole thing. It's 10 minutes of nonsense. Just shows me how much he's a hater. Again, CNN, Don Lemon, Joy Reid, hating on Tim Scott. Hating because Tim Scott is a black man in the Republican Party. They got to say. That's at the forefront of the policy issues. That, who knows, could be running things one day. Who knows? We don't know. They're jealous. They're jealous. And see, this is how low CNN is stooped. Because for as much as people want to criticize alternative media, independent media, right? I mean, that's kind of what CNN is acting like right now. Because instead of covering news, he's trying to get into a beef with Tucker Carlson. I'm not sure how many times Tucker Carlson ever used the whole 10 minutes to go out to Brian Stelter. I'm not sure I've ever seen that Tucker segment. Maybe he has. Somebody show it to me. I need to look it up. But this is what they got to do for ratings now, guys. This is what CNN has to do to stay relevant. They don't have Trump to push around anymore. So they got to find a new Trump. The new Trump is Tucker Carlson. That's the new Trump. That's the new person they're going to go after. They're going to go after the right-wing media figures. Because they can't go after Trump anymore. They got to stir up some of the hatred. The same thing they accused Tucker Carlson of doing. For the ratings. That's what they got to do. They got to do the exact same thing they're accusing Tucker Carlson of doing. Because they have nothing. Nobody cares about Biden. Right? I mean, they've spent the last 12 months sniffing Biden's jockstrap. Right? So it's hard for them to really criticize Biden like that. They got Cuomo. They can't do that because that's a conflict of interest. You got Fredo working there at CNN, so they can't say too much about that. They're desperate. They're grasping for straws. They need something to talk about. So they go out to Tucker Carlson, making Tucker Carlson that much more relevant. The man talks and MSNBC and CNN get triggered, throw fits, go on rants. That's how relevant they made that man. And it just shows why Tucker Carlson, as I've said it time and time and time again, is the best in the business. He's the best in the game. Okay? He's the best in the game right now. And game recognize game. And that's why you're seeing the hate. So, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.